Damn you, Facebook. CIA. Why is that different? Having some tech difficulties, guys. Having tech difficulties, sorry. As if you ain't already know, right? All right. Why? Okay, keep that. Get rid of this. Discard. I don't know. I'm having a problem with Facebook. I don't think I'm going to be able to resolve it. 'Cause I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's just blocked. Maybe Facebook decided they didn't want me on their platform. 'Cause I don't know what's going on, guys. We shall see. Discard, man. I don't know what's happening with this thing. Oh no. I don't know why it's acting up. Should I try this one more time? I tell you guys. Sorry about this.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Apparently, you are falling for the banana in the tailpipe because you can't get the stuff to work.
Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
I get it. It's just a problem. All right, guys, how you doing? I'm not going to worry about it anymore. Periscope's giving me warnings. Facebook's acting crazy. I'm not on Facebook tonight. It's just not working. But I'm working, as you can see. What up to my people on YouTube and my people on Periscope? Give it up for those people out there. I appreciate you. You know, sometimes things don't go right. You know what I mean? You cannot control the world. You do the best you can do with what you got, what you have, and you just keep on moving on. Shout out to my people out there in the Wolfpack world, Wolfpack Nation. Make some noise. Some noise. What's up? I titled this this live stream, and I hope people out there watching. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to pretend there's people out there watching this. You know, I titled this live stream tonight, Can We All Just Get Along? And I did that for a reason. Because I feel deeply in my heart of hearts. I feel deeply in every fiber of my being, as well as the blood coursing through my veins, that we can't all just get along, because a lot of us are stupid. Yeah. Yeah, we can't all get along because some of us, we got mental blockages. Something, you know, something's blocking. It's like a cinder block. It's a serious block, and we don't want to see things through other people's eyes. We don't ask simple questions, very complex questions like, why? Like, You think I'm tripping, but people don't ask why. You know, they just assume stuff. You know? They're like, you know, and they assume what they think is always right, and whatever you thought, you couldn't be thinking anything. Anything you were thinking wasn't positive, and anything you know, you can't have a pure motive or a good motive. It's always got to be sinister. You know? That's what it is. We don't ask simple questions like why. Because once we start asking the why questions, we start finding out, man, people got reasons for why. It's not always, I want to, you know, cook the babies and I want to cook the dogs and I want to hurt people and I want to, you know, write mean things on walls. Like, people have reasons that aren't evil. But we never ask why people do stuff. We never ask why people feel the way they feel, why they said something. And then on the rare occasions when we're not condemning one another and we finally ask that question, why? And I swear it don't happen that often, man. We already have in our heads what their reason is, so anything they say don't matter anyway. Get up for that. Try to say that 3 times real fast. And like, this is not just politics. This is not just the shit we read here. This is just real life, man. It's what people do. And it's really sad. And look, I'm going to bring this up, but I'm not going to bring it up, meaning I ain't trying to open a big can of worms, you know. But I got to say it because I got such a great analogy for it. I hate to waste my analogy. You know, you got to use what you got, right? A couple of months ago, maybe a month ago, people were complaining about other people being open to dialogue with other people, open to accepting help from other people. Open to, like, you know, hey, man, if you'll help me push this car up this hill, I don't care where you come from. If you help me get this car up this hill. You know, they didn't understand that. There's a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of fallout. A lot of people got hurt, emotionally hurt. And some of us hurt financially. A lot of other things. You know, this stuff happens. You're going to have skirmishes. But I had this thought. I was like, you know, let's say you have a town. Right? You have this small town, and for some reason, there are people in the town who happen to believe that you need a stop sign. Right? So they, you know, some people want a stop sign, and there's some people who don't want a stop sign. They want the town to stay small. They think if you need a sign to tell you to look out for your neighbor, you're an asshole. Like, you should not need that to slow down. And we don't want to put a bunch of signs up, and that's just going to give people a reason to get tickets. It's really what it's for, actually. But for this analogy, leave that out. That reality out. So these two parties want this thing. Like, no, this one party wants it. This party does not want the stop sign. Give me a stop sign. I want to stop. I want to make sure the kids are safe. I think it's more civilized. You can't trust people to stop, and let's make them stop. Right? That's over here. Over here is, hey, leave the state out of my bedroom. Leave the state out of my life. I don't need no more fines. I don't need you telling me what to do. I'm a grown-up. I'm an adult. And these two groups, right? Well, depending on how you look at the world, you may fall in either one of those categories, pretending there is no middle. You can't be like, I don't care. You got to be somewhere. So in this town, this is what the ongoing battle is. So as this group goes to recruit people to try to help with this stop sign up here they want to put in, they realized they didn't have enough numbers. They were going to lose. They just didn't have the numbers. The don't put the stop sign people happen to have more sex anywhere they want. They don't care. They just do them, right? They're consenting adults, and they procreated more. They made more babies. I don't know. There's more of them, okay, for whatever reason. So what we need to do is win back some people on this side. This side's like, we need to get some more people to be able to vote for us to get that stop sign. So what these people do is they talk to some of the people over there that they don't like, because in order for them to get the stop sign in place that they really want, they think it'll save some lives or make life better, they're going to have to convert some of these people over here. Because, see, they done ran out of people over here that care about the sign issue or whatever. Yeah, they don't. So they got to talk. They got to convert some people. Well, how do you convert these people if you don't talk to them? How do you How you get these people to help you get the thing you want? Because I got to believe it's a lot of people who don't want to sign a stop sign just because some dummy on that side of the group gave them good reasons. Like, come on, man, you don't really need a sign, do you? Come on, man, you know, that's just the way for them to, you know, next thing they know, you know, they're going to be getting your email address. And, you know, they're going to want to take your kids from you. And they're going to put you in little camps. You know, and then that's it. They're going to put a dog tag on you. What's that thing? A bar chip in your back. And this is how it starts. This starts with stop signs. And they listen to that. But that's really, you know, that's a lot in there. But really, some of these people don't believe this story. But they're like, she said it, so, you know, it's kind of interesting. I think I'll stay on that side. So anyway, those people, some people on this side are pliable because the logic doesn't all the way add up. A lot of it's paranoia and other stuff. So yeah, so in order to get that stop sign, the people that are over here might have a damn good shot at getting it if they can convince some people over there. Now, let's add a little bit more drama to the story because we always need more drama. That's what people tune in for. In life, we wake up to drama. When we see something bad happen, we talk about it. Something good happen, we don't say too much. Got to have the drama. So the drama in this story is, on this side, one of the reasons is the driving motivating factor in getting a stop sign put in place, no matter what obstacles they have, is that let's say a 2-year-old was killed at this intersection 6 months ago. Now, these people, you kind of sympathize a little bit more. Now, on this side, they say stuff like, well, maybe if the kid went in the street, where was his mama? Why wasn't mama with him? How the hell he get in the street? He's a bad parent. He won't be saved by stop signs. He'll be saved by better parents who pay attention to the kids. So, you know, we got this warring thing going on. It becomes less about the stop sign, more about what the people think of the people who want what they want and what stereotypes they have in their head about those people. So at some point, it's like the people that want the stop sign, they feel like morally they're not just trying to win, but they have an obligation to get that stop sign in place because they actually feel it may be a lifesaver. Maybe their kids or one of their friends' kids or maybe even a stranger's kid. It's worth the struggle and worth the work it would take to get that stop sign put in place. And frankly, these people, though their rights they feel are being violated, it's not like, you know, they don't really feel a grave life and death situation if they didn't, you know, if they were to lose, I should say. Not meaning that they're willing to jump off their position, it's just that they don't have anything that's rooted deep down. It's kind of superficial. These are thoughts of you know, we keep our privacy and stay out of my wallet are not as powerful as a baby died. And you can use that baby died line pretty good and get some of these people over here to help you put your stop sign in place. Well, let's just say during the course of trying to get the stop sign put in place, all the drama. The lead guy trying to get the stop sign put in place is the brother, is the brother to the father. Well, that was his niece that got hit. His niece was the 2-year-old, so it was the brother's child. And he's sitting at a bar one night, he's having a drink, he's wondering how he's going to get these stop signs put in place, how we going to make it work. And a guy walks up, has a seat next to him he's never seen before. Apparently, he's a guy who's just stopping through. And I guess he feels a little comfortable talking to this guy he doesn't really know about his problem because, well, he doesn't know the guy. And the guy, you know, he can't hurt him. Tell him some stuff, you know, it won't get around town. So he feels like he can unload his mental baggage about this situation. And during the course of the conversation, explaining his whole situation to this stranger, the stranger looks at him and he says, well, it sounds to me like your problem about getting the stop sign. I agree with you about the stop sign. Maybe instead of talking to these people about what they want, maybe you look into some other reasons why they might want a stop sign, why it can benefit them. He says, I know for a fact, and I don't mean to offend you because we just met, but there's some perverts over there. He's like, what, we mean perverts? So yeah, we got some perverts on the no stop sign side, man. I only been here a few hours just passing through, but I saw a couple of them. My lady's out getting her hair done. We were walking through town, man. They were oogling at her the whole time. I wanted to punch one of them in the mouth. I didn't because I don't want to get locked up in a small town. But they kept staring at my wife. He said, I got a feeling that maybe some of those guys on that side be interested in that stop sign if you sold them on the fact that whenever they stopped at that stop sign, the lady across the street is pretty cute. They might get a chance to see her, or maybe there might be some other pretty women driving along the street, and maybe you'll get a chance to see them more often because you'll have a stop sign. They'll have to stop, and maybe then, you know. The guy's like, what, man, that's a great idea. It's a great idea. You're right, we do got a lot of perverts in town. I'm trying to sell them on saving the kids. I need to sell them on, you know, getting a free look. So, man, I feel disgusting. I need to go take a shower. I feel bad. But damn, that's a good idea. I think we'll roll with that. So, thank them for the information. Stranger left the bill for the guy he gave advice to pay for it. He gladly paid for the bill. And then he had a new game plan. And he, one by one, approached the no stop sign people. The people on his list that he knew were nasty, perverted, or pressed, or single, looking for a date, and kind of pitched the idea to him. And Lord behold, this idea worked. This idea worked not because these were great people, not because they were morally, ethical or whatever. It's because they were horny. That's why it's going to pass, and it did pass. It passed. Now, it's a sad story, but it's a happy story, and there's a lot of things you can take from the story. Hopefully in the future, there'll be less children hit at that intersection. Might be someone's child who gets to grow up and, I don't know, get a dead-end job and then find himself and end up on YouTube making videos and doing podcasts. Or, yeah, I don't know, maybe a young lady will grow up who wouldn't have grown up otherwise, or be able to get married to that guy and somehow find a way to see through his foolishness of thinking he could get his thing a go. You know, in the twilight of his highest earning potential of his life, he throws it all away to go work on digital content. Hell is wrong with that guy. Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, some little girl grows up, some little boy grows up, and no one dies at that intersection because of the deal that was made. And you know what? I think that's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And no, it didn't get done because we appealed. In this case, the stop sign guys appealed to the moral capacities people and convinced them of all the great things that a stop sign could mean and how the lives they could save and how it would be good for the neighborhood. But it passed because, well, hell, we had more votes. We had more votes because we had more people. And the kids that ended up growing up and having those lives who never, you don't think about what could have happened. You just think about what do happen. So, they probably never would appreciate it or thank you for it. But I got a feeling if they could know that all that was done because somebody had the vision to talk to the people that kind of creeped them out and gave them a bone. So we get the stop sign. I said we get the stop sign in place because that's what's needed. And it don't much matter why we got it in place. If it's for perverts to look at pretty women when they stop at the stop sign, or if it's for panhandlers or window washers to run up and try to earn a buck, or if it's for safety for the children to make the community safer so those people can grow up and live their lives. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter why, it's matter what got done. And if you sit around wondering, worrying, questioning always the motives of why people do things, then you never get much done because you're going to have to sometimes work with people to get things done who might not have your same intentions. But once it's done, it's done. Once it's done, it's done. And that's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. So that's why I say, can we all just get along? Meaning, I don't know, No, we can't, but we can find ways to work that out, I guess, if we try. I mean, if we really want to, unless it's all about embarrassing people, showing, I don't know. And at the end of the day, it's all opinions. Just my opinion. I made a challenge in a video or in a live stream I did last night with Jared Beck from the DNC fraud lawsuit. Well, it wasn't really a challenge, but it was actually, I made a statement. I made a statement that, you know, for a week, I would love for an MSNBC watcher or a CNN watcher to watch only Fox. There, I said it. People are like, what? No. Yeah, I said, but yeah, watch it for a week. Watch it for a week. Wear a bib if you need to. Have a bucket around. I don't know. But get through a week. And you will find out that these people who watch this stuff, they have reasons for why they believe it. It's well crafted. It's well put together. They make it logical. They make it reasonable. Most of it. Not all of it. Not all of it. But most of it they're going to do, you know, it's not going to be like, you know, it's not going to be too strange. After a while, you may not agree with it, with most of it or any of it, but you'll see how some people could agree with it. And then I wanted to have the same pledge or, you know, make the same recommendation for my people who watch Fox to watch CNN or MSNBC for a week. And once again, it won't be easy. You'll see liberal clovers and shining lights and not so shiny lights. And you may see, I don't know, unicorn jump by. I don't know, but you'll get through it. And I bet after a week of watching it, you may not agree with much of it. You may not agree with any of it, but you'll see why maybe some other people might. And that's the trick to the whole thing. Because regardless to what side you're on, someone's sitting there going, that person's on the wrong side. And if we don't work with those people, man, I don't see how we get anywhere. You know, right now they're talking about purity tests and litmus tests. And, man, I take a vote where I can get the vote. I take the vote where I can get the vote. It's no joke to it. I take the vote where I can get the vote. But I tell you this, I take your record seriously. When did looking at somebody's report card or looking at somebody's stats or looking at somebody's, you know, track record become a litmus test? Hell, we get litmus tests all the time. It's called a job application, mofo. I don't understand, man. Maybe I'm just in the wrong era or something. Maybe I was born too soon or born too late. Hold on, you black. You black, bro. So I'm hanging around with you with HA too much. Nah, maybe I was born too soon. But yeah, like when did the litmus test, like what'd you do last term? When is looking at that and seeing if it's any way resembles the trajectory of a career or a voting record that has the values of the voter, that the voter holds in mind? Like, when did that become too high a bar? Well, you know, what job did you ever go apply to or interview did you ever have when they just say, man, you know, I don't care what you did at the last job. Did you ever show up? Doesn't matter to me. Oh, you showed up one time and you didn't zip up or nothing? You just went in there commando and you didn't zip? We don't care. You know, what job does that? Never was there for a week on time. Never, don't care. We don't care. Stole merchandise. Who cares? We don't look at past records here. That's the litmus test, sir. Says here, ma'am, you got caught making love in the back of the H&R block you worked at. Sounds good. We don't care. I mean, what world do they get to live in where nothing matters that they've done? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's not the world you and I live in. See, that's the thing. Politicians have a whole different world. It's this weird world where you can lie about stuff. And not only can you lie about stuff, or not only can you lie to your people that put you in the job, who elected, who gave you the job, when you get caught lying about stuff or cheating, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, you can shame the people who are mad at you for doing it. Get up for that. That's special. That's special. How the hell? That's special. You can publicly shame the people who are mad at you for cheating or for lying or for not keeping your word. You can actually be mad. And not only can you be mad at them and shame them, you can have, I don't know, you can have a media entity write articles supporting you, bashing your critics, calling you sexist or racist or Islamophobe or something. You know? That's what they do now. I tell you, that's why I say maybe we're born too soon. Maybe, I don't know. Because it makes sense to me that these people would be, you know, I'm in the wrong era to be with these people. I mean, this is normal. This is all normal, what I'm saying. This is crazy. And it's normal. You realize it's normal. We have all these different rules for rich people and elite people and politicians and lawyers and, I mean, not lawyers, but, you know, like judges and shit. We have, like, all this room between them and us. Yeah, all this room. And I don't just mean by money standards. Of course, by money is a huge valley between us. But I'm talking about just in what's reasonable, what is acceptable. Hell, these same people wanted TPP would strip unions of even more rights. You saw what they did with the United Auto Workers Union, stopped them from expanding in the South. You know, that was all pressure. They wanted to take more rights or more power away from unions. And those people don't give a damn. But those people want special treatment where you can't even criticize them. And if you do, you're horrible. You're a traitor. So once again, it's, you know, I said, can we all just get along? I mean, the answer is obviously no. I mean, we could try like hell, though. We do. We have to try. Because we got to get more stoplights. And I can understand people saying, hey, Tim Black, why'd you do this? Why'd you bring this person? You know, why'd you talk to this person or whatever? I understand you asking it, but like that's my response to why. Because we need more stoplights and more stop signs. And I don't think you can say you really want a stop sign or that stoplight or in your town if you ain't willing to get it. Any way you can get it. I mean, that's just me. But I will tell you that we ain't all got to see things the same way, but we can work towards like understanding each other and respecting each other's point of view. And I'm not saying that's easy. That's hard as hell, respect somebody's point of view, especially if you don't agree with it. It's like, oh, really? Okay. You think I'm an asshole. Okay, that's your point of view. Okay. Don't agree with it, but I respect it. Hey, what I'm going to do, you know? We don't really want to be respected. We want to be loved. You know, we want to be loved. If you really love somebody, you let them just respect you from time to time. That's called spicing up your marriage. But no, I mean, we want to be loved. That's real talk, you know? And, you know, I'm kind of bouncing around, but, you know, as I'm looking at what's happening, man, look, guys, please do not be worried about North Korea. You want to live. They may be dumb. They may be rich. They may be elite. They may be living in rarefied air. They may have all this shit they don't need. They don't want to die either. Now, not all their elite asses can fit into a vote, into a blow room or whatever the hell it's called. So, yeah, I don't think this is gonna, escalate into anything huge. And I know they want you glued to the TV set, worried, going out to Walmart to buy a bunch of water, and little goldfish. I don't even know why do kids love them little goldfish things? I don't get it. Kids love them, but you got to buy a whole bunch of those for the kids. In the bomb shelter room is what I'm saying. The bomb shelter room. But that's what they want. They want you to run out to Walmart, spend a lot of money at fortifying the fortress. But it's all BS. It's all BS. We're going to be all right. I mean, no, let me take that back. We're not going to be all right. Things are going to continue the way they are, which is horrible, but we'll be here to see it. I mean, hopefully. I was trying to end it on an up note. I couldn't find one. But yeah, don't be afraid of North Korea, man. Be afraid of taxes. Be afraid of getting sick and not having the right medical coverage and not having enough coverage or living on the street because you did have enough coverage, but it just cost everything you owed or owned. Be afraid of, getting pulled over at night by a cop who, just bounce from somewhere else because the cops aren't connected. The databases of bad cops aren't connected. Now, the databases of bad people, that's connected, but not the database of bad cops. So that's yes. But hey, if you want to be afraid of something, be afraid of that. Be afraid of, regular stuff. But don't be afraid of North Korea. Don't. I want to end it like this before we go to calls. I love you all very much. I do love you. I love you. Wolfpack Nation is strong. We're resilient. You see something, we in what I do or in me or something. I don't know what it is, but I appreciate it. I'm glad you see it, and I just wish we cared about what's going on in this country as much as we care about what's going on overseas. We got some kids dying around here. I don't know if anybody ever thinks about that from time to time, like, 10% of black men in prison and jail cells right now in this country. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Just thought I mentioned that would be kind of good for some people to give a shit about what's going on in America, too. But, it's boring because it's normal, because it's boring. And the fact that it's normal and boring, the social issue stuff, that just means we are horrible. That's all it means. It doesn't mean, you can get used to anything. Some of the stuff we get used to, we should never get used to. And never losing your sense of outrage ain't just about a corrupt election ballot. It's not just about interventionist war. It's not just about a pipeline. It's about the shit that people deal with every day. The poverty, the lack of education, the lack of accessibility. And there's so many things we can go on and on and on about. Unemployment, underemployment, no raise in 3 years. Like, there's a lot of things we could, be really upset about. Well, anyway, how is your Friday going? How you guys doing on Friday, huh? I want to open up phone lines now and get the crew in here, man. The phone number is 319-527-6212. That's 319-527-6212. I would say calls in the order that they are received. I want to thank you very much for hanging in there with me and your patience and all that good stuff. I got great people. And turn this up just a little bit. My first call is the 760 number. 760. You are live, my friend.
Hey, I had a theory as to why a lot of our politicians are kind of disconnected from the people. And the main thing I think that's actually occurring is that I think that we as a cultural zeitgeist really haven't quite grasped the extent of the political and social consequences to our technology. I mean, if you really sit down and think about it, we're developing technology so fast and so much faster than people even are aware of. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Well, I mean, if I can give you an example, like, you can actually get a 3D printer from Home Depot right now. You can actually go online and look it up. You can buy one from them.
Okay.
And if you think about it, we still haven't quite figured out what to do about plastic weaponry. Because you can print that. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but there was a group online called Defense Distributed, and they actually put forth the schematics for a 3D printer to print out plastic weaponry. Have you heard any politicians talk about that? About the importance of us actually having that conversation? I mean, regardless of whether you stand on one way or the other on gun rights or the Second Amendment, I think we should at least have a conversation about it, Or, I think a couple of years ago, Israel was working on an ethnic bioweapon. I don't know if that's true or not, but the idea is plausible that maybe not Israel perhaps, but another state could possibly be researching that, or maybe a group. And, I mean, it's horrifying enough to think about what happened to the Native Americans when the Europeans came over and brought forth, smallpox and bubonic death. I mean, we understand that from our historical context, but to imagine someone doing that deliberately to target people's specific ethnicities, I mean, that to me is a big concern, and no one's talking about that. And I think it's because we as a people haven't really been aware of what's going on in the tech labs. So the tech labs and the scientists and the colleges and universities and the sciences have been advancing so fast, so rapidly that, like, when I am on the street talking to people, they have no clue. Like, I'll be saying, what do you think about, what do you think about quantum computers and how the fact that all of our encryption is based on the difficulty of factoring prime numbers, and how a quantum computer could possibly do that really quickly, which would put all of our security at risk. And most people are like, what's a quantum computer? What does that even mean? I mean, it's still in development. It's still a lab thing. So it's not like, not like everyone can get their hands on it, but that doesn't mean the technology's not there. It doesn't mean it's not developing, and you don't really want to deal with a problem. You don't want to deal with the hurricane when it's on your doorstep. You want to, make sure everything's patted down before the hurricane arises. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. Well, look, I thank you for the phone call. Give it up for our friend. And he said, hey, technology is really getting out of control. We need to get in front of it. Want to stop the boater, got to get in front of the boater. Can't stop the boater from behind. I get that, bro. I get that. While you were talking, man, I was thinking about Dr. Moreau, the island of Dr. Moreau, or Moreau. Are they able to do that yet? Like make a dog man? I'm serious. I'm asking the question. Are they able to make like, Kangaroo Lady? Because this movie freaked me out, man. Like I remember back, like I saw it like years ago, but it was just like on the cable, the TV was already on. I walked in as Dr. Moreau. I'm like, damn, it's kind of eerie. But it's kind of cool too, But yeah, since you were talking about technology, scary technology, I mean, I guess I don't keep up enough. I don't know. Are we splicing people with animals to try to make a better species or something? I can't imagine that no one's trying that shit. I mean, come on, man. There's some guy right now, It's probably not even to make a species. It's probably just because he's creepy, creepy dude. And we got people who marry furniture. Y'all think I'm joking. There are people with fetishes for objects that, like a steel beam on the side of a road. So this young man who just called in who talked about technology and where it's going, I don't know. Yeah. You put technology in the hands of the wrong people, they'll do anything. Where do you think Kathy Griffin came from? All right, I'm gonna go to the next call. 408. You're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim, this is No More Donations. How you doing?
Hey, no more. What's going on, bro?
Hey, not much. I heard you mention fetishes. If I was going to talk about fetishes, I think we'd be here all night, so I'm not going to talk about that. Instead, I want to talk about the, I've been skeptical of the Russia hacked our election narrative, from the get-go. The DNC's pushed it, Hillary's pushed it, corporate mainstream media, and I'm including the Young Turks in there. I'm not sure if Sham Seedier has pushed it, but he's the kind of guy that would, so I'm going to go ahead and lump him in there too. My main problem from the beginning has been, this reliance on people in government agencies for this one-sided narrative. Hardly anybody has been reporting on the people who've worked in these agencies and have a counter narrative. And, that to me, that's more likely that someone with access to the DNC system leaked it than this quote unquote Russia hack. And I'm referring to that article that was in The Nation a few days ago. So, it was an eye-opener for some people in the establishment or people who desperately want to be part of the establishment, like the folks in Young Turks. But, it just confirms what most of us, or at least many of us, already thought, that the Russia hack narrative was, say it with me, bullshit.
Yes, sir.
When gullible people, they want to believe something, they'll connect the non-existent dots until it kind of matches up with their preconceived notions. There's a lot of smart people that have worked in the government, and they can make digital trails appear to originate from pretty much anywhere, Russia, China, the U.S., wherever. It doesn't even matter. The IP addresses, they can be spoofed. Patterns that look like certain countries did whatever, those can be faked too. Corporate mainstream outlets like Maddow and others, and I'm including Cenk Uygur, John Iadarola, and others, the Young Turks. They like to quote people who worked in the U.S. government agencies when it supports that Russia hack narrative. But when it's people like William Benny, who was a whistleblower, and Ray McGovern, he's a retired CIA analyst, those are two folks who concluded that it was a leak from an insider, not a hack from some foreign country. And now all of a sudden, there's a sound of crickets from these folks that have been on that Russia hack train. I think a lot of those folks who've been pushing that narrative, they need to take some responsibility for pushing Trump into a corner. When you keep pushing someone, especially somebody like Trump, eventually they're going to want to strike back in words or worse. So the rhetoric, the recent rhetoric with North Korea, it's unhelpful, and it's getting into dangerous territory. We need to sit down and talk with people like North Korea, and I know that that's basically happening behind the scenes, regardless of what you see on corporate media pushing the North Korea wants to bomb Guam and all this shit. I think that there are cooler heads in both governments, frankly, who are talking behind the scenes. They're just not telling us what they're saying. So anyway, I think it's time for all these people that have been pushing that Russia hack narrative. They need to drink a nice tall glass of shut the fuck up. That's my stance, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, no more donations. I appreciate it, man. I tell you. Yeah. No more donations. I love it, man. I love the fact that some people got to eat crow right now. I'd rather for them not to eat crow. I'd rather for them to be on the right side of an issue. Instead of now they're going to type, now it's going to be about trying to change the narrative. Of course, that's what you got to do. You got to switch the subject off the thing you were wrong about because you don't want to draw attention to the fact you didn't know what the hell you were talking about. And no one made any definitive claims that they put their name to. And that didn't set it off. They didn't know. But I do want to say one thing, no more donations. a lot of the people that believed it, who are not within the space of media, who just work a regular job or do a regular thing, and they, cut the TV on every once in a while. Those people who thought it was true, they had a lot of help believing that. You got 30, 40 years of Russia's scary. Woo, Russia's scary. Woo, the little thing called the Cold War. You got all that. You still have imagery and movies and media about Russia even before this negative. I remember the show The Americans. And a lot of people watch that for some reason think that we're the good guys. Because I don't know. No, the good guys are the Russian spies who... You don't get it. They're trying to make a statement So anyway, yeah. So I don't want to discount or really diss the people who just regular folks, man, who got who believed it because they only watched 15 minutes of news a day, and just so happened 10 minutes of that is Russia. Then they get sick and they cut it off. All right, I'm going to the next call, man. I appreciate you. 440. You're live.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Tim. This is Michelle in Ohio.
Hey, Michelle, what's up?
Hey, so I called last week to talk a little bit about kind of Bernie Sanders' economic team with Stephanie Kelton and how hard taxes don't fund federal spending, that the government actually spends first before it can collect taxes. Since we can't make the dollars, that'd be counterfeit. Only the federal government can. So I kind of wanted to expand on that a little bit because I know I saw some comments last week talking about inflation and us just printing money. We can just print whatever amount we want. But that's not exactly how it happens. So when we say issue currency, they don't necessarily someone in a back room, rolling out dollar bills on a piece of paper. That's not how it works. So, excuse me, when Congress wants to authorize the Fed to spend, since Congress is the only one that can authorize the Fed to spend, it basically credits bank reserves. The bank then credits accounts. So it's numbers and accounts going up by computers electronically with keystrokes. And when we pay our taxes federally, we send instructions for the Fed to debit bank reserves. The banks then debit our checking account. Again, it's numbers by keystrokes electronically going down in our checking account. So basically, when the Fed credits, numbers go up in accounts. When we pay taxes, our accounts get debited, numbers go down. That's really all it is. It's not just like printing money. That's not how it's done. And when people say, "Oh no, inflation and all this, horrible thing is all going to come to an end," printing or issuing dollars, crediting and debiting does not cause inflation. The question is real resources. So, for example, Bernie's plan of Medicare for All, we can pay for it. We can afford to credit accounts. We can't ever run out of keystrokes. That's not the issue. The issue would be, do we have the resources? Do we have enough doctors and nurses and hospital beds and MRI machines? That's the real question. And in Stephanie Kelton's video, Angry Bird, she goes into more detail about that. So the constraint is not revenue. It's not spending the money. The constraint on inflation would be the actual real resources, the productive capacity. We can't wind up like Greece. Greece gave up its monetary sovereignty when it became part of the Eurozone.
Okay.
We can't end up like Zimbabwe with hyperinflation because they had too many dollars chasing too few goods, especially in the agricultural sector. They couldn't produce any crops.
Okay.
We can't end up like Germany, the Weimar Republic, because they were devastated by the war. They had no productive capacity, and they couldn't pay back the war reparations in their own currency. They had to pay them back in French francs.
Okay.
So none of that.
Excuse me, Michelle. Do you have a YouTube channel?
No, I watched Steve Grumbine, and from that I learned MMT and listened to people like Stephanie Kelton and Warren Mosler and L. Ronzo Ray, and all of what we've been taught is completely wrong by mainstream.
Okay.
So if you could get a chance to get Stephanie Kelton or L. Ronzo Ray or Ellis Willingham or Warren Mosler, an interview with them, that'd be very, very.
I think it would be better. What I would like you to do is, like, if you have a website you want to direct people to, let's just do that for tonight. And I think it's kind of a deep dive to going on it. Do you want to shout out a website again today?
There's a Facebook group that I go to, Modern Monetary Theory for Real Progressives.
Okay.
But if you go on YouTube and you go Modern Money Network or Deficit Owls, There's a lot of good videos that relate to all this stuff.
All right. I appreciate you, Michelle. Thank you very much for the call. All right. Yeah, guys, do me a favor, man. Do me a favor. It's not exactly what I intend the show to be for people to call up and go into like teaching moment. Kind of wanted to be more conversational and about issues. But for something like this, I think what you need to do is really like direct people to something for information. Because it's too much to get like in a phone call. Like, you know, people aren't going to, the people who know what you're talking about, they're cool, you know, but this is, I think, for people to really understand, you know, yeah, we send them somewhere where there's some tools and resources and what have you. So, yeah. Oh, that's what I think. That's what we'll do. Okay, how about that, guys? Because it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. It's a lot, you know? You know? Call up and say, well, you know, I think this about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and I think this about the movie that showed that they did this or whatever. That's, you know, we don't need to know any background, any abbreviations. We don't need to know the acronyms. We don't need to know. But I appreciate it. 562 in his house. How you doing? You're live. Who's this?
How you doing, Tim Black? This is Marvin from California.
Marvin, my brother, how you doing, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good, man. Your monologue, man, with the North Korea. I've shared my feelings before, you know, months ago about the Russia thing. I feel the same exact way. I don't even know sometimes where I stand religiously, but, you know, there's some things that I won't say unless there's a need to be said. And so what I'm about to say is, man, I swear to God, I was talking to my mother-in-law earlier today. She calls me up. She says, hey, you know, I was watching TV. I don't know if she watched Fox News, and I really don't know if she watched MSNBC either. I know she do have CNN on. So she calls me up. She says, hey, you know, I'm seeing all this stuff from yesterday talking about war with North Korea, and I had to just turn the TV off because it was too much for me. So today I turn it on again, and it seems like we're going to go to war. So what you think? And I told her the same exact thing that you said in your monologue. This North Korea story, no different than the Russia story. It's a ploy to get people glued to their TVs because they making money hand over fist, having people glued to their TV. And the longer you stay glued to the TV, the longer you taking in just them as a brand or whatever. I saw a tweet earlier today. Brian Williams said our job is to have people scared to death about North Korea. And it hit me, and it was like, you know what? And at the same exact time that they're keeping people scared to death about North Korea, they're keeping people ignorant about the shit that's going on in this country. And that is so foul. So I'm going to leave that on there. The second thing I got to say, I shared this information to the forum once or twice about, you know, where I live at. I live in Long Beach. I'm from Long Beach. Been here since, like, 1971. So Long Beach is the second largest city in Los Angeles County. Los Angeles was just awarded the 2028 Olympics. Los Angeles was actually bidding for the 2024 and lost out. And I'm sure people know they follow the Olympics and they follow the IOC, some of the shady stuff the IOC has been involved with, right? So I don't remember the exact things on how the mix-up went, but whenever there's a thing for the Olympics, it's a bidding process. Well, in a backroom deal, so to speak, when Los Angeles lost out on 2024, the IOC just granted at Los Angeles to 2028. And why do I say this? And I'm not a Los Angeles resident, because some of these events is going to be held in Long Beach. And what the Olympics is going to bring, just look at what happened in Rio, how they cracked down heads in you know, in the poor areas.
You're right.
There's going to be police. Matter of fact, not just police. It's going to be federal. It's going to be ICE, and it's going to be you know, all the federal stuff people,
ATF.
police up in here. They're gonna be trying to move out, build up crackheads. So it's like no for the Olympics, Los Angeles 2028. A matter of fact, we don't need no Olympics nowhere in this country because it's a money grab. That's all it is. Tim Black, peace. Still love you. Oh, one more thing let me say, because you kind of alluded this to in your monologue too. People, whoever's listening, Wolfpack, I'm sure you already know, yo, this is Tim Black's channel. And whoever Tim Black choose to have on his channel, choose to interview, just have the faith to know that it's to put some information out that not everybody may know. And, you know, you might see a name and it'll be like, you know, give you goosebumps or give you whatever. And you're like, man, I ain't trying to, whatever. You know what I mean? If we all supposed to be grown-ups. And if you can't get past, you know, some little icky stuff. Now, I'm not talking about, because you alluded to this a little bit in your monologue too, I'm not talking about, you know, Tim Black behind some serial rapist. That's not what I'm saying. But we're human. Everybody makes a mistake in something. So you think this person got a little bit of ickiness on them, and Tim Black has it on channel, and, you know, you get in a hissy fit and want to cancel your Patreon, and that's on you. But have enough faith to know that the information, there's going to be some information in there that you might not have known, and you're hearing it from the proverbial horse's mouth. That's all I got to say, Tim. Peace. Love you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, Marvin. You know that, man. Man, wow. Man. I'm a host. Guys, I'm a host. Of course we bring people on the show. Of course we bring people on the show, man. From Dan Rowe to, gosh, man, I had George Webb on, Lee Camp, Ben Dixon, The Humanist Report. I had a lot of people on this channel. So many people, like, wow. Yeah, man, I'm bringing people on the show, man. So I'm trying to get my man Freeze Love, the comedian, back on this show, and try to get Corey Holcomb on the show. You mad about that guy? Psh, why don't I get Corey Holcomb or Chris Tucker on the show? You know? Shoot, I've tried to get, what's this guy? Damn, I forgot his name, man. Not Dan the drywall man. The other guy. What's the white guy, man? Funny, man. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to bring in Ron Jeremy. Shoot, I don't care. I'm a show host. We'll find something, make it, you know, make it funny, but also make it real. That's what I do. Oh, you thought when I bring guests on, you got to like, oh, okay, you got to agree with their viewpoints? Man, I had a cop who spent an hour justifying police brutality on this show. That just nobody paid attention. I wanted to kick him off, but I didn't. He was justifying it. Sometimes we got to shoot him up. Like, damn, dude. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? Sometimes you got to shoot. He was black, too. Sometimes you got to shoot the N-word. What up, man? What's wrong with you? Now, I'm joking. He wasn't that bad. But he was a constable. Now, I know constable means pretty much the same thing as cop. But it just sounds racist. Doesn't it? Constable. Oh, it's got the air of it. You know? Like he's going to pull out a sword. Constable. But I know it's the same thing. I'm going to go to the next call, man. Thank you, Marvin, for that call. 650 into his house. You're live on Freedom Friday. Who is this?
Tim Black. This is Dr. Bruce. How you doing?
What up, Bruce? How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I have to say I'm disappointed that I missed your broadcast with Jared Beck, but I'm definitely going to take a listen to it.
Please do.
Let everybody do the same.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say I 100% agree with what you're saying about, you know, sometimes we need to come together with the other side. I don't quite understand how that's not just something that's accepted. You know, coming together with the other side. So and I was listening to HA's debate with Ben Dixon. The most disappointing thing is he would not be willing to work with somebody like Bill O'Reilly if Bill O'Reilly happened to be on the right side of an issue, because of so many other issues that Bill O'Reilly's on the wrong side with. But we can't look at the issues that they're on the wrong side with. We have to look at the issue that both parties agree needs to be met and dealt with.
That's what I think. That's how I feel.
There's not a lot going on medically. Usually I'm thinking about medical stuff. There's not a lot going on, so I can keep it short. But I just wanted to say, speaking for, I know your audience, we love what you're doing. We appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks, bro.
We give when we can give. I had some problems with your Patreon, so I dropped something on PayPal.
It's all good, man. Thank you so much, Dr. Bruce.
And
my brother.
And I hope you just continue to have the success you're having. I'm looking forward to your next 100,000 subscribers. And definitely keep us abreast when you get onto something as an alternative to YouTube, because I know I'm very frustrated with what YouTube is doing, trying to censor and just kind of try to take. I mean, they already were taking the funding away, the money away, demonetizing, but now they're trying to bury certain people's videos, and I think it's just a matter of time. And you know, I wish I had the capability to make a YouTube channel that could be a WeTube and just have everybody there.
I feel you, brother. Look, Dr. Bruce, I appreciate the kind words, man. Thanks for calling in. It is a struggle, but we keep on fighting, brother. And you're absolutely right. It's not just they took away the money. That's been months, right? And some of us it never came back for. And this is why you belong to a network. This is why. And not a rinky-dink. I joined the network for a couple months. It was a very small network. I didn't see much benefit from it. When they did give me opportunities to make, like special products or videos, people complained a lot. A lot of my viewers complained like shit. But that wasn't just it. Was, they're getting a cut of it and all this stuff. It's crazy, man. But if you get with a big network, like I understand why Mike Figueredo, why he signed up with the TYT network, not an employee of TYT, but in the network, which is you do your own content, you do your own thing type of thing. From what I understand. I understand why he did that. Now, he may be okay. But it's not just the money, it's also awareness. So like if they bury you in the search algorithm so no one sees your videos, then it's almost like, they're really killing you. And that's what they're doing to my channel. That's why a channel with 100,000 views, 100,000 subscribers gets 2,000 views. Nobody even knows I'm here because they buried me that deep. So it's crazy is what it is. I've been dealing with it for months. And we're going to come up with some alternatives. And one of the alternatives will be working directly with advertisers and getting the hell off this platform. That's what they want me to do, is get off the platform. So we'll have to oblige them at some point if this doesn't get better. But I thank you, Dr. Bruce, for calling up, man. 434 into his house. What's going on, man? How you doing, bro?
Hey, Tim, hold on 1 second. Let me take those. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Turn the volume down. What's up, Miss Tim?
Hey, man.
Oh my gosh. Shit. Where can I start? Being a San Francisco 49ers fan, I support Cap. His little ish he got to go through. I think the brother got the skills to pay the bills. And I think people need to really take a hard look at what he was standing for. If their issue is the fact that he stood against the flag of the national anthem, take a historical look at what that really stands for. And have some sort of empathy. And I'm going to leave that right there. In other news, I think we're dealing with two big ass children with the political leaders, our president, and the one from across the water, Mr. Kim Jong-un, I think. It seems like a bunch of bullies on the playground that finally met up against each other, just shoving each other back and forth. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? And I think they both need to sit their punk asses down and stop playing pity pat with soldiers and people's lives. And I think that all the people that's like cheering on Trump with that whole, oh, he speaks his mind, we got a president with balls, and all that stuff they be saying. Newsflash, people. Nobody wins a nuclear war. Yeah. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Yeah. If you think that you can crawl into your little hole or your little $50,000 bunker and ride it out and come out waving your whatever religion and flag, you're still lost. And you still will die. That's not nothing that nobody needs to see. I don't see why they didn't find all the so-called geniuses and scientific geniuses that we have across this planet, allegedly. I don't see why they didn't find something else more productive to do with that energy other than blowing each other up. That's just me. I mean, what happened to the space travel program? What happened to exploring other planets, you know what I'm saying, and just seeing what's in our local cosmic neighborhood, other than satellites that's just used to patrol and survey us, the citizens of the world, so the government can capitalize on it and charge us more taxes and come up with more ways to keep us further in prison. I don't think people are letting that soak in. And I'm going to go here, which is where I should have started, which is where I normally start. Good afternoon, Tim Black.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, man. I'm good, brother.
I like enjoying my Friday nights. For all of those who don't know, this is Brother Mystical Carter here. I like enjoying my Friday nights, listening to Tim Black, bring the realness, bring the news and word and discussions that's not normally talked about out there in the real world, out there in social media that y'all are also addicted to. Because I can.
Hey, look, Mystical,
and because
man.
We can.
Yeah, because we can,
and sit back and enjoy your little adult beverage and enjoy yourself. What's up?
My brother. Thank you, Mystical, for the phone call, man. Man, I don't know what's going on. It's a pushing and shoving match. It's something crazy going on with Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump. Hopefully, they can resolve it over a game of golf or something. Yeah, because it's a lot of people. A lot of people could die. But I don't, like I said, I'm not worried about it. You know, don't worry about it. Seriously, don't worry about it. 770. Shoot. 770, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from? Who that?
Tim Black.
What up? Was it Stone Mountain?
That is Dave from Stone Mountain. What's
Dave
up,
from Stone Mountain, man. What's going on, guy? How are you?
I just wanted to let you know I haven't forgot about your story about the dude that saved the other dude that was drowning in that lake.
Yeah.
And there's a whole nother call about that, man. Look, I'm not even going to go there today, but I just want to let you know I heard that. And there's so much fighting going on between everybody. I just want to remind everybody not to go off the rails. You know, I think a lot of these people are having anger issues. And they're just not balanced. You know what I mean? Like, there's one thing to be a purist, and there's another thing to just be so stubborn that you end up hurting people. You know what I'm saying? Just to hold your ground. But it's really simple. You know, there's two roads to go down. There's one road where you have a bunch of dysfunctional idiots in your country who can't access health care and education. And then there's a plan like what Bernie was talking about, and it's having neighbors, everybody, all around you, surrounding you, being healthy and intelligent. So it's like the biggest non-argument of all time. So, you know, I'm just going to make this quick. I don't want everybody to, you know, don't overthink this. You know, all you have to do is get education and health care. And it's like having the military. There is no way not to prosper with those two things for every citizen. And that's it, Tim.
I love it, Dave. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I'm glad you brought up that video. Momo Pineno edited that video. We have a very short clip. It's called The Drowning. I'm going to release it. The thing is this, Dave, that video, brother, that video, that story is so important that I'm wondering about the best way to bring it out. You don't just want to throw a story like that against the wall and go, do what you do. You know, I want to do something with that video. Like, I don't know. So, like, I think Momo, we both kind of holding out on putting it out because, like, Momo doesn't want it to fall flat. I don't want it to fall flat. And we think the message is so important that we want to kind of present it the right way. So, thank you so much for bringing it up, man. And you're right. You know, let's not hurt each other if we can avoid it. You know what I mean? And then when people are doing stuff, think why are they doing it? Oh, just think why. Why are they doing it? I'm one of these people. I'll tell you this, and I said this, I think I said it to HA, because HA is really kicking ass on YouTube, man. And we've been working together for a year straight. And I told him once in a conversation recently, a couple weeks ago actually, and we were just talking about, because, you know, I'm fighting this thing with awareness and getting my videos out and them actually being seen by people. And he's doing a little bit better, you know? And I was just saying, man, this sucks. And he's like, yeah, you know, he said something about what was going on with him and with his video channel. Anyway, and I interrupted him because I was like, man, I'm really struggling, man, but you're doing pretty well. That's good. And he was like, yeah, but it's not so, you know, he kind of like said some things to try to make me feel better. And I told him, I said, hey, man, HA, dude, I'm not one of those people who think, oh, man, I could be winning if it wasn't for H.A. Goodman. He's the reason. You know, I'm not one of those people. I never look at people who are doing better than me and go, that's the problem. That guy. Now, it may be a system problem, but it's not that guy. Like, so I'm not one of those people that look at other people and say, if it wasn't for that person being in the way. Man, do you know how much competition you have? Not just with you, not just in your niche of like political whatever, commentary. I figure this is political commentary plus entertainment, which is a little bit different than what some people do. I think it's special. I think it's kind of unique. I like it because it's who I am. Also, social issues. I think that's, you know, and, you know, but you're not just competing with those people in that very small niche that I would have if you really focused on that. You're competing on people who just want news. Then you're competing against people who make videos, period. Then you're competing against everybody on YouTube. Then you're also competing with people who can watch TV and Hulu and Netflix and watch, you know, a football game, and then people that want to go out for the night. So like, you know, you instead of focusing that all these things, all these pieces are really your competition. And then you got yourself as well. Like, are you really doing the best work you could do? Is it, you know, a good representation of what you're trying to put out there? Are you doing that consistently? Like, these are all questions. But I see some people who would blame other people when you got all these other layers. So to your point, and to my point before I lost it, it's just that, yeah, like, why are people angry? And like, you know, like, what's the problem? But I think, like, you know, you got things that go on your job. It's not that big a deal, man. We will survive. This channel will survive, and hopefully the movement will continue for truth, and people will fight for that. I know I'm learning a lot of stuff as I've been going along, man. This DNC fraud lawsuit opened my eyes up to a lot of stuff I didn't know was going on. WikiLeaks, of course, opened my eyes up to a lot of stuff. And then I meet people daily, and I interview people and talk to people who give me great information and insight. And, you know, it's just great. It's like everyone's still evolving. All of us are evolving every day, and if you're not evolving every day, then something's wrong with you. Did my 813 number stay in the queue? Okay. 352, you in the house. Thank you for calling. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, good afternoon. This is Fernanda. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I wanted to talk because I feel like my liberal friends are driving me crazy. They're just driving me crazy on Facebook. All they're posting about is about Russia and Putin and North Korea, and these are people who are thought were like super, super smart, and they are driving me insane. It's like the Republicans with Benghazi all over again, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh.
You know, I feel like all the real issues are being buried underneath this, and it's driving me insane. I would like to talk about something that's very close to my heart, and just really quick. I would like for your listeners to, if they have a chance, to read the Jones Act of 1917 about Puerto Rico, because I am from Puerto Rico, and we are second-class citizens. We really are. And what is being done in the island, it is really unfair, and not many people know about it. Our hospitals are being shut down because we can't afford electricity bills, and people are dying, and hospitals are being shut down, and schools are being shut down, and nobody's talking about it. And Puerto Ricans really don't have a voice when it comes to voting. We are not allowed to vote for president of the United States. And even like if we move to the United States, then we can vote in the United States. But let's say that I was born in Puerto Rico and I moved to the United States and I wanted to run for president. I am not allowed to do that because I was born in Puerto Rico. So we really are second-class citizens. And when we come here to move here to get a better life for us, because our wages are being cut in Puerto Rico, when we come here, we are not viewed as Americans because we speak Spanish, but we are American citizens, so to the Hispanic community, we're seen as Americans. So we fall in the middle, and nobody talks about us. So I just wanted to let your listeners know that's going on, and I encourage everybody to read the Jones Act of 1917. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you, sister, for calling up and dropping that information. Very informative, and you know, you start listening to other people's stories and you learn something. You know, you can learn something, and isn't that what we all? You know, that hopefully that's good. You know, a good thing, something that you kind of want from this show. I hope, you know. And yeah, thank you so much for that phone call. 205, thank you for your patience. I appreciate you. What's your name? Where you calling from? And hey. Hola.
Está. Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. It's Stephanie from Tennessee. I don't know if I heard you like say hello like 3 times. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're fine, Steph. What's going on, lady?
Okay. Hey, I'm off and stuff, but then it hung up on me, and then the other caller said stuff, and now I want to talk about those things too. So I got a bunch of stuff, but I will try to keep it to 5 minutes because I know it's probably got a lot of calls tonight. But the first thing was you were asking about the gene splicing. I can answer that for you. They have spliced human genes with things.
God damn. Steph,
to try to.
I couldn't hear you for a minute. It's like you dropping out a little. You're dropping out. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. I've got this. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you now.
Okay, that's weird. I don't want to put my mouth too close to the phone because it'll hit the mute button. But with the gene splicing thing you asked about, they've got human genes being put into cows because they're trying to reproduce breast milk in cows so that they produce that instead of regular milk. They've also put spider silk in the cows, no goats, to try to like produce this milk that has like spider genes in it. They've put bird genes into mice so that the mice sing. So they've been doing some weird gene splicing stuff. Yeah.
Gosh. Oh, she laughed. She laughed in the call when she said that she was going to hit the mute button. Maybe hit the button. Call back, Steph. I got your number written down here. It's good. It wasn't me. Tim's hanging up on his callers. Gotta go make a video. All right, 772. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Tim. It's Eric from Florida. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, Eric? How you doing, brother?
Doing pretty good. I was watching your videos and your interviews this week. I wanted to say that Russia video was amazing.
Thank you, brother.
I really appreciate all the stuff that you do, and HA and Nico, everyone, Jared, Elizabeth, Beck, everybody. I just wanted to call and just say hi. I haven't called in a while, and I just wanted
hey,
give a quick shout out.
All right, man. Well, look, I appreciate you, Eric. Give it up for Eric calling up to say.
Thank you. You have yourself a wonderful weekend.
You too, man. Have a good weekend.
Love
Eric.
you, Tim.
You got a brother calling up to tell everybody to stay safe. You know what I mean? Don't drink and drive. Stay alive. 704 in the house. You alive?
Hello.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello.
Yo.
Hey, Tim. It's the other Bruce from Carolina.
Bruce in the house. What's up, Bruce?
Oh, man, I thought I was high, man, because that makes perfect sense. One of your earlier callers was talking about with, like, how a lot of technology has been really accelerating over time. And to be honest with you, I don't really think the government would give us too much heads up on anything really happening anyway. Because, I mean, let's just keep in mind they held that vulnerability that caused that little hacking situation with those NHS hospitals earlier this year, because of the fact that there was some sort of vulnerability that was used that the government knew about. They didn't tell anyone, and then it got thrown out there. And let's not forget about Stuxnet either. Stuxnet is still out there. That programming language that's able to take control of Siemens hardware systems, allow you to like bypass their alerts. So then basically you can override their systems and possibly make literally hardware explode and damage itself without even being physically there. All digitally, all technology wise. And then I was also thinking about the fact that when you look at something like Skynet, I know sounds a little weird, Tim, but think about it. What was Skynet? Skynet was a high-tech AI
90 seconds
of cognitive thinking that was able to become self-aware, and not only self-aware, but outthink and out-strategize its human counterparts. Doesn't that sound exactly what happened on Jeopardy with that Watson from IBM? Didn't that thing beat like 1 billion former champions from Jeopardy?
Yeah, something like that, bro.
Yeah, that thing.
60
you're
seconds.
Telling me that 10 years from now, if you have something like IBM Watson basically controlling our missile guidance systems, it's very possible, because the one thing that the military loves doing is using technology to help get that advantage. I mean, there's a reason why we put billions and trillions of dollars. I mean, outside of the fact that we get to feed our defense contractor overlords, you get to have the fun of basically turning war into one big-ass video game. But there's another thing I wanted to talk about. Last week, I called in about the whole Kaepernick thing with Baltimore and how it hurt my heart. I don't know, maybe I may have not been 100% clear. When I was mentioning the whole thing about Ray Lewis,
10 seconds.
I was being sarcastic, because obviously, if you are a decent human being, you would want to fight for your people. But here's the thing that I noticed with Ray, and I love Ray, but here's the issue. Ray has an issue of preaching left and preaching down. Now, if you ever hear his conversations, the way he talks about the community, he always talks about what we can do to help ourselves. How many videos have you ever seen from Ray Lewis talking about police and people above him doing their share to help defeat police brutality? Matter of fact, if you watch that show where it was Shannon Sharp and that other guy,
Skip Bayless.
I forgot the name of it. So he even went to as far as to say, I quote, for those 30-something white owners in the NFL, that's not their fight. What? I'm like, here's the thing that frustrates me so much. You got to think about this, Tim. What kind of mindset would cause a person to want to basically step in front of another human being and take that type of onslaught? The type of human being that grew up basically with nothing. And because of that, that individual now has all the money, all of the access, all of, basically everything you could ever want. And the idea of having all that snatched away just like that, think about it. What happened? Remember, when was the last time you saw Warren Sapp on television?
Wow. Nah, I haven't seen him in a minute, brother.
Exactly. And he's about as deep as some of his legal stuff as Michael Irvin is, as Michael Vick is, as Ray Lewis once was. A lot of these guys that you see on television, they, like I said last week, they have something on them. So literally, if something were to happen or they didn't like what they say, they could literally just drop them like that and be like, oh, well, that's because 5, 7 years ago or 10 years ago, we just didn't think he fit in with our culture. Like, you know what's going on. And I think at the end of the day, look at someone like Greg Hardy, a guy who literally threw his ex-girlfriend on a pile of guns and said, I'd kill you. This guy gets chance after chance. That kicker in New York that actually admitted to beating his wife, his ass still had a job after that. But yet you are saying that someone who took a knee just to fight for African-American rights or people who are suffering from police brutality in general, he's too much of a distraction?
Hey, Bruce, I got to leave it there, man.
Smell bullshit, Tim.
Yeah, you got it. That's a great call. Great points, bro. I got to keep it moving, man, but I love it. I want to thank you for calling in, man, and hitting that out the park. You pointed over to the stands. I used to, it was Reggie Jackson. I forget who it was. He pointed. They're like, oh, what are you pointing over there for? You'll see. But, yeah, man, come on, guys. The Kaepernick thing is... Oh, it's not about that. It's not about him taking the knee. It's about his ability to play. Some teams are so desperate for a quarterback, they went to the college, look, we need this guy. He's a place kicker. I know. Come on, let's suit him up. We need somebody, man. Damn, bring him on. They got guys like, what was it, Jake Cutler? Whatever. He's at home. What's his name? Cutler? I don't know. Right? He at home eating pizzas, doing coke. Bring, calling him up. What's up? Hey, what's up, man? You want to come back and play? What? He's so overweight and out of shape, he almost had a heart attack receiving the invitation. They're calling that guy up to play. I like it when people just admit stuff. Admit it. You know the reason. Don't act like you work for the NFL. Admit the reason. But see, to your point, Bruce, I want to say this, man. The best people to employ, right, are people you got dirt on. Think about it. That's why they want the Warren Sapps and the Ray Lewises and you want these people. They can never get out of line. Gotta have some dirt on you. You know what I'm saying? Gotta have some dirt on you. That way we can keep you under control. As soon as you start talking, is he talking? And you just they be sitting over in the corner with that piece, that note. Hey, buddy. Hey, I thought you'd be quiet. There you go. What you saying? What's that I hear? Rights? What you say? Nothing. Shaking it over here, boss. Shaking it over here, boss. All right. Thank you, Bruce, for that phone call, man. 805. 805's in the house. Thank you for your patience. Freedom Friday. Well, what's your name? Where you calling from? Yo.
Hello.
Yeah, you're live. Who's this?
I'm sorry, are you talking to me?
Yeah, you're live, 805.
I'm so sorry. I was in the yard doing yard work. How's it going today?
I'm good, man. What time is it where you at? You doing yard work? You must be on the West Coast.
7:41 in the evening.
Yeah, it's
beautiful out
10:41.
here. Sunny.
Yeah, man, good for you, brother. I'm good, man. What's on your mind tonight?
I wanted to say I really appreciate your channel. Saw you about 2 weeks ago and been watching ever since.
My brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do a lot of research, a lot of profile work, stuff like that. Mexa Army. I would say that a lot of stuff that's happening today, that you're right, we need to stop getting caught in the weeds and look at the bigger picture and kind of step back and see what's the long-term goal here. I really think that the president is in a place where he was not supposed to be. Hillary's supposed to be there. And there's a lot of stuff that's supposed to be happening in the next 15 years that he just threw a big wrench into. Like the TPP and all that other stuff. And the Congress, both Republicans and Democrats, who you have to admit are doing nothing at all to help him.
Right.
But the long-term goal is it's like the UN 2030 agenda, the sustainable stuff. And if you look at that, there's a whole bunch of plans already set in place to have one world economy and all that kind of crap. I never used to believe that stuff. I met some guys online, and they gave me some special software, and I found out a lot of stuff.
Wow.
So I would just seriously just take a look at the Agenda 2030, and there are timelines out there for it, and all of those have been hit so far. And it started back, and George Herbert Walker Bush signed it. And it's supposed to be one country, one world country, or world order thing.
Yeah, world war order. New world order.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. And
Yes.
I never believed in it. Never did. But I sat a whole 6 months just going through the entire UN website, going through all their manuals and all their stuff like that. And it's in there. It's their agenda.
Wow.
And apparently a bunch of government officials decided that we were going to do it. Everything from population control to disarming the United States by 2030. That's all in their small arms and light weapons agenda.
It's crazy. Look, man, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. The Agenda 2030, guys. Look that up.
It's the UN Agenda 2030.
The UN Agenda 2030. Yep. Interesting stuff, man. I appreciate
all right,
you. Give it up for this guy.
Caught in this small stuff. Look at the long term.
Hey, man. I hear you, brother.
And have a good day. Thank you.
You too, man. Thank you for calling up. We got some good people, man. Good people with good ideas, sharing information. I love it. 510, you're live. Oh, my bad. 531. I'm sorry, 531, you're live.
Oh, hey, how you doing, Tim?
I'm good. How are you?
Gary from Nebraska.
Hey, well, good to have you, my friend.
Oh.
What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah. Oh, not too bad. Say, I heard the guy talking about having trouble with Patreon earlier, and I've been having a lot of trouble with them, too. I keep trying to sign up for it, and it never goes through, you know. I got to wait until I get my statement to see if it went through or not, and I get my statement a month later, and no, didn't go through. So
Wow.
I've done it about 3 times now, and for some reason they're not connecting it.
I believe it, brother.
I keep on buying T-shirts from you, though. I got a whole drawer full of them.
Hey, look, somebody is. Look, I have not been promoting the shirts that often, but we're going to start doing more designs. We gotta mix the designs up, do some new stuff. But I am going to be promoting them, brother. I appreciate that. But anything bugging you this week, man? What's up?
I got another one. Did you hear about this representative Hank Johnson from Georgia?
What did he do?
He was at a House Armed Service Committee hearing last Thursday, and they had a discussion regarding planned military buildup on the Pacific island of Guam. Johnson expressed some concerns about the plans to Admiral Robert Willard, the head of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. And his comment was, "My fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize." Willard paused and replied, "We don't anticipate that."
What the hell?
Oh. Presumably, when you're the head guy of a major fleet, a big-time Navy, you got plenty of other ways to fill your time other than reassuring congressmen on whether miscellaneous land masses are likely to tip over and sink.
Maybe not.
I heard that on the radio in the car today, and I was just wrong. I couldn't hardly see the drive.
Our best and brightest, brother. I love it.
Yeah, we're out here in Nebraska still fighting them oil pipeline wars.
I feel you.
Seems like a never-ending thing.
Hey, well, look, man, I appreciate you calling up. Hank Johnson sounds like a couple bottles short of a six-pack, man. That guy, I don't know. Somebody elected him. Hey, isn't that the kicker always? I remember telling the guy this on the job. He was so mad because we had people that worked in our team that were really behind in technology. And believe it or not, once upon a time, I was pretty good. My tech skills were pretty good. But we have a coding and stuff, just like networking and stuff like that, mobile devices type stuff. But anyway, kind of backed my way into that industry because I was like, I need a job. Can we get this? But no, one of my guys, he was really pissed off, man. He was like, why is this guy working for us? This guy sucks. This guy, he didn't know anything. I said, look, man, look, calm down, man. He didn't hire himself. Give him a break. Someone chose him. Above us, gave him this job. What are you supposed to be like? Nah, I'm good. I don't need to make a living. Who needs food and shelter? I'll just sit over here and not know stuff and stay unemployed. Of course he's going to take the job, man. But no, if you're a congressperson, you should know certain things. You should know shouldn't be a flat earther. But once again, somebody gave him the job. somebody gave Sarah Palin the job. Somebody gave Howard Dean the job. All right. Now let me go back, get this 5100 number, man. I can't believe I missed this in the queue. 510, how you doing? You're live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, Tim. This is Vita from San Leandro.
Hey, what's up, sis?
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. I had sent you a couple emails. I don't know if I emailed you. There was a guest that you had on about the drug issue, and I sent you an email for a doctor out at Columbia. So I sent you some information. He's done a lot of good work that you might want to have on your show. And I want to go back to relating to can we all get along? I've been looking at some of the comments on pages, some of the different channels, and talking about the all right and all left, and also looking at the debate between Dixon and Goodwin. And I didn't get really to understand. I sent Goodwin some comments because I think that if we're going to move policy and try to meet up with others that agreeable on the right or left, whatever, to me, I try to look at what is the best policy, actually who's writing it, because everybody uses a lot of surface information like a title, like healthcare. I need to know who's writing the policy, who's going to be at the table, because that's what it boils down to. It doesn't, we already been working on both sides when you have elected officials. That's how we get bills passed, you know, when we don't have, you very seldom have one party in control of everything. So we're already doing this, but I think we need to go back to cleaning out our own house, because if we're looking at some of the progressive organizations and also the Democratic Party and looking at the candidates and trying to weed them out, but if the foundation is still rotten and we still have those possibilities and rules in place, especially when it comes to delegates, how are we going to run candidates and push and put the person into office? Because that's not going to happen if you don't correct some of the rules based in the DNC. So I look at some of these conversations, and then I also want to say to people about when we use the term of identity politics, and it normally comes up if black people talk about a certain issue that's affecting them, and we're looking at the data. When you go through the data of unemployment, of different issues, if you're looking at policy, you try to grasp information to see what's the information to see where people are hurting. But then I see other interactions with people in chat rooms and stuff. The first thing they would say, well, you're playing identity politics. We all have an identity. You can't change your identity because your identity is part of who you are. And everybody there's a white identity, there's a black identity. We all have different identities, but I always hear when it comes to use identity, when you talk about minorities, that is a straw man's argument, because if we're going to look at policy and if we look at what we have on the books now, so it's just like a dance all the time, because you're not looking at who's going to be at the table writing these policies. You know, I don't care who the candidate is. I watched Representative Ro Cohen, whatever his name, him and Nina Turner was on CNN, and he was promoting Kamala Harris as this great progressive prosecutor for California. That is a bunch of BS, and he's over there with the Justice Warriors and everybody's behind him, and he comes from California, and he's funding a lot of money from Silicon Valley. Kamala Harris had the opportunity to prosecute the same guy that we have in office for treasurer, and she did not do that. And she played identity politics by saying that she's black. She's not black. She's Indian. She embraces her Indian culture with her mom, and that's a play on affirmative action. And then her auntie want to put on T-shirts for a phenomenal woman, and everybody's gathering around there based on Maya Angelou, the brilliant Maya Angelou, and you're selling T-shirts with this falsehood. And all that money is going to 5 different organizations, which all have Hillary attached. People, do your homework. And Tim, I appreciate you. And I wish I can. I tried emailing you 2 times. I'm in California. I can do some research, some articles for you anytime. I'll send you another email. I'm under Unspoken Voices Inside the Media in the chat room. And my email, you can always hit me up. And I look forward, if you need some help, I don't mind looking up some information for you. Thank you.
You're the best, Vita. And you're right. You're right about
okay, love you. Okay.
Love you, sis. Love you so much. And appreciate you. You're right about that. I saw that clip with Ro Khanna, who's been on this channel. Tim, you brought on Ro Khanna. Yeah. I had a sitting congressperson on the show. and we talked about some stuff, and I asked him some questions. It was cool. It's what show hosts do, you know, and it was cool, man. And you know, I feel like if you bring somebody on and they talk long enough, if you make them comfortable enough, people can get a real good picture of who they are. It doesn't mean you got to agree with them and go vote for them. That's on him to sell that. You know, I'm not selling you to go vote for the guy. Having a conversation. Look, I'm not going to explain that, but you're right about Kamala Harris and Mnuchin. And and you're right about Phenomenal Woman. I did a video on that, and I gave credit to Yvette Carnell for putting me up on game about Phenomenal Woman and who was behind it and where it gave. So I went and I look. I didn't just listen to Yvette what she said. I went and did my research to verify it. So even when you get good information from people, look it up yourself. Don't just repeat it. Do like Vita does. You know, go look up the sources. So, yes, I did see these organizations. I saw who those organizations were that the money from Phenomenal Woman was going to. And by using the term Phenomenal Woman, written by Maya Angelou, it conjures up ideas of, you know, these black women and the fact that there were black women mostly on the website. You thought maybe they're doing this for, you know, to help black women because it was black women paid something, equal pay day. But no, that was going to Hillary campaign stuff or Hillary affiliated groups. But yeah, I appreciate you, Vita, for putting it in. And my thing is, sometimes it's a little hard. The best way to help out Vita is if you know if there's an article or a subject or a story that grabs you that you're interested in, let me know about it. And if it's already something that you're into, because my hardest thing is really finding information and content that's relevant, that's not going to, you know, that kind of fits in, and that's sort of like our mind frame. You know how you and I think, right? When I say that, I mean all of you guys. Like, you know how we think about stuff. You know, a little social, a little political, a little worldview, you know, current also comes into that as well. Like, you know, so if you have those types of ideas or those type of stories, hit me up. Like, look, this is what I did. This is what I think. This is what I found out, you know? And we can go from there. Because it's hard to assign, you know, unless I had like a real project that I'm working on for like maybe a series. And maybe I should start looking at it that way. Do a series of videos on a topic. Now that's something. I like that idea. A series of videos on topics. Be like 3 videos, then we can kind of plan it out. But anyway, thank you, Vita, for the phone call. 512. Thank you for holding on, 512. You're live. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hola. Hello. Did I lose my phone line, man? 512. Hello. Oh, damn.
Hey, this is 512 right here.
Oh, okay. I'm about to hang up on you, 512. It's like, oh, man, did I lose my phone access? Who's this?
Oh, shoot. This is Tony from Austin, Texas. Sorry, I was off mute.
No, it's all good, Tony, man. I'm glad you're here. What's on your mind on a Friday, brother?
Oh, I like your show. I listen a lot. One thing that's on my mind a lot is districts, gerrymandering, and all these congressional districts and how they draw them up. And it seems that they're in the back rooms and carving out neighborhoods.
Yep.
It just seems wrong. And I don't know if people talk about it, but my idea is have computer-drawn districts where, you know, you just plug in the census data and the computer carves up little slices, and that politicians don't get to decide about the borders, but, you know, it's just whatever comes out of a computer program, that's how the districts go.
Right.
So I don't know. It's an idea that I have. I'm sure it's probably other people have this idea too, but you know, the gerrymandering is a problem. What do you think?
I think it is a problem, brother. It's a way to control the vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you look at the shape of districts, and they're just crazy. They're horseshoes and salamanders, and it doesn't make sense. It's all manipulation. So I just say let a computer program draw it up.
Interesting, brother.
But I'm also thinking, like, how do you program this little program to draw them to districts? So the first district would be the smallest, densest district possible. So, like, I guess in Texas it would be like downtown Houston or something like that. And then the second district would be the biggest district possible. And that would be like all West Texas, big old open space. And you go back and forth. Second most, you have a bunch of little tiny districts. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think that computers should decide, and not politicians.
Well, man, I think this. I know that they're gaming the system, brother. Maybe you should, bake that idea for a while and call back when you gotta, have a solid idea, and we'll try to patent it. See if we can raise some money for independent media.
Thanks, Tim.
I love you, brother. Hey, man, have a good weekend, man.
Much.
Stay safe, man. All right?
You too.
Thank you, brother. I think this is Stephanie. Stephanie, you fell off. Is this Stephanie?
Hello?
Hey, Stephanie.
Please, let it work.
You're
Can
back.
you hear me?
Yes, you're back.
Yes!
Thank
you. It cut me off, Tim. I was very sad. I don't even know where it cut me off because I started listening to other people's calls again. I didn't rewind it because I didn't want to get all confused. But okay. I'm just going to go straight to the topic I wanted to talk about and not the chit chats in case I get cut off again. So somebody had brought up the AI thing, and he had asked about, like, do they realize how, dangerous the AI thing is, and our technology and people not being aware of our technology. There's a really good video that Julian Assange did where he talks about the issues with AI and the hubris of the scientific community right now, with them moving so fast in how they're learning. I don't know if I had just brought it up in the chat, like if people have seen The Incredibles, where he makes the learning robots, and the robots get better than the guy who made the robots, and they start attacking him when he tries to get him to attack the I don't want to say the whole thing, give away the plot, spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but it's basically the whole thing is about, like, why making learning robots is like a bad idea. And right now they're like teaching them how to walk and move and everything, and it's like, oh well, they actually have the intelligence of a cockroach, so it's like they can do these calculations, but they don't have intuition like humans. And it's like, you've got something that can think like 40 moves in advance. At some point, these things are going to be smarter than humans. They may, it's like, yeah, we can shut them off, but like if they find some way to like undo the shut off because they know that we're going to do the shut off, like they probably won't turn around and kill us like a sci-fi thing, but they'll be thinking of like things they'll be so far in advance that there'll be no use for humans. Like it could be like mass suicide, like the Suicide Club movie, because like people will feel like they have absolutely no purpose if all these automated AI things take over everything for us. Like we will become obsolete. So he does this whole video on it, and I thought I would tell people about that because you can look up like Julian Assange talks about AI or something on YouTube. I don't know the exact link, but I'm sure it's out there because he was posting it like just a month ago. But speaking of, I wanted to call in about, I know I messaged you about this, about the importance of why listeners who want to stop the propaganda machine, who want to stop want to call out the mainstream media lies or these, there's kind of like, there's a reason the CIA invests money into certain things, is to stop people from being able, like the whole thing you said about people being able to collaborate on left and right and how they want to stop us because divided is easier, divide and conquer. And one thing is they don't want people knowing the truth. And because they can't, they can't find anything, they tried to stick everything they could against them. on the false rape accusations and everything, and those got dropped because, you know, the evidence wasn't there, and the Human Rights Council was like, hey, America, we know what you're doing, you know? So it's like, and the information's all correct. They can't find anything to, you know, they were trying to say like, oh, he tried to mix in all these documents, you know, that there's fake ones. It's like, point out the fake ones. They can never point out the fake ones. All you have to do is, like, someone who says that, be like, okay, show us the fake ones. And they can never show the fake ones because, you know, like, there's no way to, like, when you can't, you know, like, twist somebody's, like, when the information is all true, when you can't, like, you know, because they can take one little thing, like on Jill Stein, they took the one little thing about her questioning the mercury in vaccines like 10 years ago when it was problematic, and they just threw it at her and threw it at her and threw it at her. But, like, Julian and the WikiLeaks team have been so meticulous that they literally have nothing on them. So, like, they're now, I'm going to say that it's most likely Pompei doing this, the CIA director guy. There's all these fake accounts coming out that look exactly like Julian's. They're not just parody accounts. And I told you about this, but I'm telling the audience now. And just like with the Russia thing, because the Russia thing can't stick anymore, you know, it's like now the mainstream news outlets are starting to be like, yeah, this Russia thing may be crap, because they don't want to look horrible and bad and stupid. And, you know, they want to come out with this information. Eventually, it's all going to fall apart, you know. So now even the mainstream outlets are, like, talking about the Russia thing. The next thing is, because the Russia thing didn't stick, they're going to try to, you know, they're using these fake accounts that look exactly like the real one to make it look like Julian's giving out fake information and is partisan, because it's all very right-wing talking points. If you can see them, I can't, because they keep blocking me because they know that I'm watching them. I've been spying on these fake accounts. And that says something, too, is that the people who are the biggest supporters, they block them preemptively, so they're keeping lists on everybody. And that everybody needs to, like, call out these fake accounts, needs to report the fake accounts, needs to continue to, like, continuously, you know, like, tag the Jack guy and the Twitter support thing, being like, why won't you get rid of these accounts? Why won't you verify Julian Assange? Because if people put as much pressure on that as they did on the Russia thing, eventually it's going to overload the system, just like the Russia thing. Because it was like, oh, they're not listening. They just keep going with this Russia thing. But now you're starting to see cracks, because it's like, you know, they have no evidence. And more people, even people who do believe the mainstream, are like, hey, where's the evidence for this? You know, like, they're not buying it, you know? So right. They're kind of moving to North Korea. And that's another thing, another topic for another day for me, because unpopular opinion time, I actually think Trump is doing a good thing in calling out Kim Jong-un, but I think he's doing it in the wrong way, because North Korea is horrible. As much as, like, me as a white person can't understand what a black person goes through with, like, the police, like, none of us can understand what you go through. It is crazy there. Like, I've watched videos, and it's freaked me out. I think I told you about that before too, Tim, but I want to let people know, like, Syria, that was a democratically elected leader. This guy is a tyrant. This guy is a dictator. And, you know, I'm not saying that Assad is a great guy, but he was democratically elected. This guy's just, you know, they're so afraid of him that with the amount of brainwashing they do on the TV. Like, you think our mainstream media is bad? Like, there was a girl who escaped because she was just like, she didn't care if she died. She was so desperate to get out. She said that she was afraid that the leader was reading her mind and her thoughts and knew that she was unhappy and didn't want to be there and was going to kill her, so she just ran away. Like, that's how bad it is, that they convinced them that, like, the leader is, like, a god and you can't, you know, defy him at all. Like, it's that crazy. Okay. But that's it. It's basically, I wanted to, like, tell everybody about why they should, like, really amp up the volume on Twitter and social media about, well, Twitter mainly, like, why these fake accounts are being let done, why they won't verify Julian Assange, because Twitter knows about it. People have been punching in, and they're not doing anything about it, even though they know. And, I mean, these are accounts, they're constantly going. So that someone with a lot of money and a lot of time, it's very obviously a psyop by this point. There's nobody, a troll, who's just going to be sitting there 24 hours a day putting these fake posts up all the time, making multiple accounts. Okay, that's it.
Hey, thank you, Steph. Wow. Wow. And you're right. I remember our previous conversation about this. I was thinking that AI stuff, man. AI, Julian Assange. I want to check that out. Yeah, spooky, spooky, spooky. Remember that movie, Artificial Intelligence? I see it. It's a little kid from the. I remember the characters in it. Pretty sad ending. Judd. What's his name? What's the guy? Who remembers the movie, man? AI, Artificial Intelligence. Judd Law, that's his name. Judd Law is in that movie. But yeah, man, technology. Is to start opening your head to all the things they can do. And you know they withhold a lot of technology. Like, they don't release it. But it's there. It's out there. And they got spaceships. They could, I mean, I thought when I was a kid, I thought by now we'd be flying around, didn't you? Come on, anybody over, 35 thought for sure we'd be in spaceships by now. I mean, we got smart homes now. And we got computers in our phones, right? Usually I'm streaming on 3 platforms from one device. It's pretty cool. But yeah, technology, they're holding it back all the time. So the advanced technology, the really scary stuff, the stuff that's really dangerous, it's been created because if you have a team and you're working on something, I mean, what are you going to do? Go to the New York Times and be like, hey, put this out. Tell everybody what we're doing. If they can't put the word out, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And there's a lot of technology that does a lot of dangerous stuff or even some great things. My thing is, why don't we use more technology to advance our world to make it better? And I know the answer to that. The answer is money. That's the answer. It's money. And they're always thinking like, I can make a couple more bucks on the old one. Go ahead and leave that old one in. We got a lot of money coming in from the people who make the old technology. Let's keep that money train running. We don't want to destabilize the Tupperware. They got to have something better than Tupperware, man. Tupperware is horrible. I opened the cabinet and I said to my wife the other day, I was like, I'm looking at the cabinet with all the plastic stuff. I'm like, gosh, man. First of all, it's not good for the environment. That's one thing. But the bad thing, the real thing I'm really concerned about is it's not good for my cabinet. It looks horrible. And I said, I would get rid of all this stuff. I would, right? But anything I buy is going to be just as junky and discombobulated as this right here. Got old Cool Whip containers and, a couple of new things and old, just old piece of carry out. This is not a carry out soup jar or a plastic thing. This is actually like one of those, you put food in here and it's got a cap. Someone said, Tim's drinking moonshine out of a carry out, container. It's like, no, not this time. Wouldn't do that on camera. I have some respect for my viewers. Do that when I'm alone. I'm watching, mud wrestling, women's mud wrestling. Guys, look, thank you so much for tuning into the show tonight. Once again, we have cleared the queue. Maybe my lack of popularity and my unfavorability ratings have risen. Maybe it's not such a bad thing because now I get through the queue. I feel like I've accomplished something. So maybe that's a lesson to you all. If you stop aiming from the skies or for the skies or for these high levels, aim for something that's obtainable. That's what you do. Lower your expectations. You'll feel better because you'll reach them, and then you go to the higher levels. Or not. Man, I've been having fun being me. I have. It's been a good show tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in and listening. Look, I'm going to come up with a way to send you all to Mexico on me. I'm going to come up with a way. Right now, all I got is prayer. But no. I'm joking, guys. Hope everybody has a good weekend. If you love the show, if you like the show, if you can stomach the show, you like the show, go ahead and donate via Patreon or PayPal, timstake2@gmail.com, or use tim@timblacktv.com. And you can find out, you can do that. That's a one-time donation, or make it a monthly thing. Some people saying Patreon is not so great. You know, I didn't know that. You know, I never had a problem with it. But other than that, guys, look, I just want everybody to be cool this weekend, man. I'm looking at the news. Next week, oh, that's right, next week, my birthday is coming up on Sunday. Right? My birthday is Sunday. Good for that. On Monday, I have No Sellouts with H.A. Goodman. I think I do. H.A. Goodman has a lot going on in his new world. And if I'm not mistaken, let's see. Let me see. Placone. Let me see if I can find Placone. And I will be, I just want to get this date right before I tell you, before you guys get too, before I go too far here. Let's see this. What's this? Oh, okay, Monday. Okay, so Monday, the same day I have No Sellouts, Monday I'll be filming on the Jimmy Dore Show. Hey, 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 yeah. Be on the Jimmy Dore Show on Monday. I don't know if that's live. I think he pre-records that stuff. But I will be talking with Jimmy on Monday. So that's really good. And then at some point he'll release that video. But we'll do recording then. What else, man? What else? What else? I'm still lining up stuff. I got people that want to come on the show, people I need to reach back out to. I have something set up. I want a couple people I want to interview. I got one set up. Actually, it's not going to be a live stream. But I got some very interesting people I'm going to be speaking with, not talking to, I'll be speaking with, having conversations with in the very near future. We're setting up things now. And you'll be surprised who those people are. And I'm excited about it because that's what I do. I talk for a living. You know, and yeah, that's what I got to do. And appreciate you all for being here. So look, man, they got a new boogeyman that's out there for us. Boo, scary, 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 points of light. 3 points of light. Ping, 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 points of light. They're shooting at you. You better run. And they use North Korea, they use Putin, they use, I don't know, black people, they use Southern white people. They got all these boogeymen, you know? Islamic terrorist, radical Islamist, everything. They want you to be fearful of everything and everyone. Here's the thing, guys.
You gonna eat your cornbread.
If you would like to eat your cornbread, you're gonna have to accept the things that are really scary are things that are in your everyday life that you deal with. The food you eat, the air you breathe, the road you drive to get to work. You know, these things are real life scary things, but they're, like I said in the beginning of the show, we have normalized it. So you don't normalize Trump. You normalize diabetes, cancer, right? Death, crime, people not being able to. You've normalized veterans, homeless, suicidal veterans sleeping in front of boarded up, empty buildings. But no, if we normalize Trump, we done ruined the world. We've normalized pedophiles, right? Or people whose children have died in their house or in their car, and they don't even get punished for it. But you normalize Trump. If you normalize Trump, it's crazy. So look, they're all out to take your cornbread. Recognize what's going on.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Nobody take no cornbread from you. Well, that'd be good if that would be true. In order to keep your cornbread, you gotta use that word. It's 3 letters. You gotta use it early and often. It's called why. Gotta ask why. Why are they showing me this? Why do they keep showing me this? Goodness gracious, man. They just keep showing me this. They won't stop showing it to me. Why? Why? And then hopefully you'll realize it's not to make the world better. Hopefully you'll come out the other side. You'll answer your own why question with, not because they're saints. Because of money. Power. Keep you down, keep them up, you know. So, I don't know, man. And here's the thing. If you don't recognize that, then
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread. cornbread.
Well, maybe they ought to eat your cornbread because you sure enough ain't eating it. Your cornbread is sitting right there. If you wanted to eat it, you would ate it. If you wanted to keep it, maybe you would have kept it. You're giving it away. Obviously, that person's not a cornbread person. And that's the problem. You know, I put out a video, my second video, Tim Black in D.C., and talked to some young man. I talked to a young man there who was 22 years old, been in a relationship for 8 years, has 2 kids. He's talking about the future of the kids. What about the future of you, brother? He wasn't even 22, he's 20. He's 20 with 2 kids. And yeah. It's tough out here, man. It's tough what we're dealing with. It's tough what we're going through. It's tough. But we have to decide that we will not be fooled by mainstream BS, that we know there's real problems going on that real people are dealing with, and that we are a select few people who are paying attention to this stuff. It's horrible when the select few people that are paying attention to stuff start turning on each other and going through pissing matches about who's most woke, right? Shoot, it's just glad you woke. Of course, there's different variations of woke, and no one can define what woke is. But we can define, or we should be able to identify who was on the take, who's just taking a bunch of money from somebody, you know, and some entity or something, or who's been hired, who's a hired hit artist, or just people jealous. Should be able to determine jealousy a little bit. If it weren't for these guys, these nosy kids, I would have got away with it. But I have trust and belief that most of us are going to be okay. We're going to come out the other side of this thing, whatever this is, at some point. It may be 20 years from now. One thing that Jared Beck and I talked about last night was the importance of being long-term. Long-term. In it for the duration. Not in it for the situation or the confrontation, but in it for the duration. That's as long as it takes. That's what it's about. And if you commit to that, to staying engaged and staying in the fight, well, then we'll never lose because we'll never quit. We'll never give in. Some things you fight not knowing if you'll win, but knowing that it's the right thing to do. We keep that mentality, we're going to be okay. You know what? If we don't, I said if we don't, if we cave in, if we succumb, if we equivocate, and we don't repudiate the BS, well, yeah, you know the answer to that.
It's going to be consequences and repercussions.
It's going to be consequences and repercussions. My name's Tim Black. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. There will be more video footage coming your way. I got to tell you, my favorite comedian is Dave Chappelle. I'm glad to see him back. He had a little skit that he did that said, hey, sprinkle some crack on him and get out of there. Well, you know what, guys? When push comes to shove, you try to explain to somebody why they're stupid, but not without saying it. When you try to get through to them with some information, trying to drop the truth on them. Here goes the truth. Hello, Jesus. Bow, hit them with the truth. All right, bow with the truth. You try to hit them with the truth, they don't want to listen. It starts getting personal. They start talking about your car. Start talking about your feet. You know, start talking about other things. Well, your mother, you know, that's when you got to get out. You realize you can't change somebody's mind. A mind changed against his will is of the same opinion still. You ain't going to crack that seal. In that case, what you do is you sprinkle some what on them? You sprinkle some facts on them and you get out of there.
Some crack on them and get out of here.
Sprinkle some facts on them and get out of there. I'm Tim Black. I thank you so much. Shout out to all my Wolfpack members. Shout out to everybody out there on YouTube. Facebook is not here. Periscope into his house. My people, my people. Shout out to Momo Pinedo, my man Iron Man Eyes, the people that support me. I support you back. Much love to you. Have a safe weekend. I don't want to hear no bad news, no sad stories about you. It's enough going on in the world. Hug somebody, love somebody, kiss your kids, call your mama and your daddy. How about that? How about that? Call your dad too. Call your guardian. Call somebody up. Tell them you love them. If you're in a beef with somebody, how about you be the bigger person? Being the bigger person puts you on the same level as anyone else, but just a little bit closer. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all next time. And with that, I am out.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. Funny.
Tim is so talented.
Amen. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
So say good night to the bad guy. Come on.
Next time you're going to see a guy like this. Let me tell you.
Come on. Never wait for the bad guy.
You better get out of his way.
There's a bad guy coming through.
That's right.
Better get out of his way.
I'm trying to tell you, brother ain't came to play. Peace, y'all.